welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you some interesting bits in world of sports, entertainment, news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in this hour-long podcast. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And we're ready to go. Hit you up with some crazy news that has happened in the past week or so. Give you a little bit of therapy. It's also therapy for us.
Absolutely.
Especially after some of the things that happened this week. But before we get to all of the news, Mikey, my friend, how you doing? Mr. Reese's over here. He's got his Reese's peanut butter cup shirt on.
The Reese's shirt. I love. That's my favorite candy. I think is anything peanut butter.
Yeah, you're a big peanut butter guy.
I am. You name a candy with peanut butter, and I'll probably eat it.
You gave me peanut butter.
I did.
Samples
as part of your Christmas gift. Yeah,
that came in handy during the blackout we had when we lost power.
Oh, when all the other food was going bad, peanut butter persists.
Well, because it was like one of those things where it was like I wanted a snack, but I couldn't open up the refrigerator because we lost power.
So are you just spoonful in peanut butter?
I just went to town on the peanut butter.
Yeah.
It was choice, very choice peanut butter.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
You gave to me.
I forget what flavors I gave you. I hope you enjoyed them though. I think I gave you chocolate.
You gave me chocolate cappuccino. That was interesting.
Oh.
And
I can't remember.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. That's right. They were all C's.
Yes,
yeah.
You gave me the 3 C's.
There's So I mean, since we're talking about it, and if anybody's local, there's a peanut butter place called Nutty Novelties in Telford. So it's like 40 minutes north of here ish. And they deliver, buy online, go to their stores, whatever. They're at all the local what do you call them? Farmers markets.
Yeah, all those fun stuff.
Go get flavored peanut butters and stuff.
Yeah. It's good to try something.
It's a nice little snack, you know? It's like when you want something sweet, but you don't want to eat like candy or like cake or Reese's peanut butter cups. You have just
straight up peanut butter.
Straight up peanut butter, yeah, man.
There you go.
Let's get straight to the source.
Yeah.
But other than peanut butter, this weekend we got snow.
Yeah.
For the first time, the reason I'm bringing it up is because the first time in, 750 some days? It was 2 years, basically 2 years.
Yeah, we've made it through 2 full years without having accumulating snow in the Philadelphia region, which is bizarre.
It was so weird.
I'll tell you what happened.
What happened?
All right, so first off, everything's my fault, by the way.
Of course.
Philadelphia, you can blame me on this.
Of course.
So
I already assumed.
Yes, blame me on this. Philadelphia, blame me. So bought a house, right?
Yeah.
I'm a homeowner now.
Yeah.
Right? The very first winter we were there got snow.
Okay.
Didn't have salt. I was like, oh, I'm a bad homeowner.
Okay.
Next winter rolled around, I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to get salt beforehand. I'm going to be smart.
So you got the salt.
I bought salt at Ace Hardware, and I bought like a secondary salt from Amazon. I was like,
so much salt.
I've got salt ready to go day one, and I've got a shipment of salt coming in later on. I am prepared.
Oh my God.
Ready to go. And then boom, 715 days without snow during winter.
Did you buy salt again?
So now this year I was like, oh well, all right,
no salt.
I'm good.
Right.
I don't need to go buy salt.
You have your multiple shipments of salt already.
Yep. Now we get
Snow.
multiple inches of snow on multiple days.
So really, I think what we should do is set up a GoFundMe. Everybody has to donate to Rich's salt fund so he can buy copious amounts of salt every year and prevent, hazardous inclement weather. Or if you do want the snow, you try to stop him from buying the salt.
I don't know
which is better. What do the people want?
Yeah, I don't know what the opposite is.
Salt or no salt?
So we have the way to prevent snow.
Right.
Give me money for salt.
Right.
I don't know what the opposite is though.
Stand outside all the hardware stores and club you in the kneecaps if you try to buy the salt.
Just turn into the mafia.
Just turn into the mob. Yeah.
Hey, he's back.
He's back for the salt. Get him. Random people just jumping you.
Yeah.
To stop you from buying salt.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So.
So
explained. Done.
There you go. Hashtag explained.
It's all my fault.
You brought the winter. You're the snow miser. That was a cartoon back in the day, wasn't it? Heat miser. Heat miser. What was the snow guy? Snow miser.
Cold miser.
Cold miser.
Yeah. They weren't very creative with their.
No, they weren't. They came up with one guy. They just palette swapped them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so snow.
Yeah, and then you mix them together, you get Lizard Miser.
Lizard Miser.
Yeah.
That's a Mortal Kombat reference.
Right. Exactly. I'm glad you picked up on it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an OG Mortal
Reptile.
Kombat.
It was Reptile.
Reptile yeah.
was the swap. Mix the colors.
They got so many characters. Side tangent. Just everybody, if you're not into Mortal Kombat, just bear with us. They developed all their ninja characters like that. There were so many of them.
It was the
Scorpion, Sub-Zero,
Reptile.
So, hold on, wait.
Well,
Smoke?
just let, in case you're not. Yeah. So the original Mortal Kombat game in '91.
Yes.
They had one guy portraying a ninja.
Right.
But then what they did was they just put colors on him so he could be multiple characters.
Right.
It started out with blue as Sub-Zero and yellow as Scorpion.
Right. And it was ice and fire.
But then there was a cheat code that mixed the blue and yellow together, and you got a green ninja, which they called Reptile.
And
then from there, they just spun out of control.
And you know that they just mixed the characters because in the original game, Reptile's special moves were just both of Scorpion and Sub-Zero's moves.
Yeah.
There was nothing unique about him. He was just a different color and both move sets.
Yeah.
But then they had Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile. Those were the original three. Then in future games, they had Smoke, Noob Sabat.
Yeah, Noob Sabat. I love that.
Ermac,
yeah. Ermac.
Rain.
That's right.
Rain.
Was he purple?
One was pink. One was red or pink.
Rain had to be purple.
I think Ermac was purple. One I can't remember which.
Had to be purple Rain.
Oh, you're right. It's
purple.
probably purple. So those are the 7 that I know, and I think they've had more since then. But I fell off the Mortal Kombat bandwagon.
It was
there's 7, but 7 ninjas.
Yeah, they just went to the ninja printing press. Here's another character.
They did the same thing with their robots. Remember the 3 robots? Sector.
That's right.
The yellow, the red, and the gray robots.
Yeah, that's right.
They literally had 2 character models and made like 10 characters just by palette swapping.
That's efficiency.
That's color theory.
Yeah, that's color theory. Yeah. So anyway,
there's your video game history lesson for the week.
Yes.
That's not what I did this weekend, but that was way more interesting.
Yes.
Because what I did do was play Baldur's Gate 3 for like 8 hours.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously, as one does.
Yep. So we did too, but also I took care of something off of my bucket list.
Uh-oh.
Because you texted me.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to give you the spotlight. What'd you do?
Yep, finally saw Oppenheimer. And I saw Oppenheimer in IMAX too.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
It came back in the IMAX run this weekend.
I saw it twice, but regular, because when I was seeing it, it was perpetually sold out in IMAX. Like, you just could not get a ticket.
Yeah.
But you had an opportunity to see it in IMAX. How did you like the film?
Yeah, love the film. Definitely Nolan deserves all the credit going back to form, because I was definitely disappointed in Tenet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tenet was
Tenet was trash. You can call it what it was.
Yeah, I didn't like Tenet.
The main character's name was Protagonist.
Yes.
That's almost as bad. No, it's worse than Unobtainium.
Yeah.
It's worse. No, it's worse than Unobtainium.
Unobtainium is
No,
ignorance.
it's worse. It's worse. They called him Protagonist. At least Unobtainium, they tried to make it sound like a metal. They just called him what he was.
I don't know.
That's like calling the bad guy.
That's happened before. Or Mr. Villain.
Mr. Villain.
Dr. Evil.
But Tenet aside, he definitely came back with a vengeance.
Yes.
Christopher Nolan in this movie.
Yes. Loved Oppenheimer. I was really shocked at Robert Downey Jr. I was like, oh my gosh.
I didn't know it was him.
That was...
Until the credits, I was like, oh.
That was fantastic acting.
Yeah.
He definitely deserves Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
I know Cillian Murphy's the star of the show, and he had to go through a lot to portray all the ranges and different eras of Oppenheimer's legacy, but Robert Downey Jr. as Strauss, that blew me away. I was fascinated by his turn of events in that movie and his acting. So I'm very happy to see that he's getting the praise that he's getting for Best Supporting Actor, because he deserves it with that movie. That was fantastic.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say Oppenheimer's probably going to run away with the Oscars this year.
Yeah.
Like, it has everything. Now that you've seen it, we can talk about it. It has everything that an Oscars movie should have.
Yeah. Historical piece.
It's character
serious
drama, wartime events. Like, it's like the
Yeah.
romance subplots. Like it's got everything. It's got everything.
Yeah, it's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think rightfully so.
I think so. I think it finally, after so many years, Christopher Nolan deserves to get recognition for his accomplishments. I mean, he's made so many great movies and has
from
just
the
never.
Academy.
Yeah, from the Academy. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's always been the Academy that's poo-pooed him.
I think he's been one of the biggest snubs, and I think rarely do you get a year where somebody is due for their award and they actually earn it in the same year.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes. But nevertheless, yeah, that was good. I was very happy to see it. And I saw it in IMAX too. I got lucky on that.
What'd you think of the moment?
The bomb?
The test, yeah.
Yeah. I loved it. Yeah.
That was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. Although it's funny, you caught Rachel off guard.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact, Jordan sneezed during that scene.
Really?
Yeah. So
When it got dead quiet?
it was dead quiet. So for people that haven't seen Oppenheimer, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but
Yeah, wait, yeah.
I don't know.
A bomb goes off.
A bomb goes off.
It's about the atomic
But
bomb.
there's a moment in the movie, kind of like,
It's a spoiler! Ooh, it's a spoiler! Don't listen! Go away!
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's really that much of a spoiler.
No,
An
but
atomic bomb's going to go off.
the bomb goes off, and there's a moment where there's just complete silence in the theater.
Well, yeah, and you know, it's because the speed of light
Right.
is faster than the speed of sound.
Right, but also artistic.
Yeah, and also that too.
So we're sitting there, and my fiance, she just sneezes, and
Right in the dead silence.
elsewhere in the theater, somebody goes, "Bless you." I literally turned the movie into a comedy for me. It was
There you
great.
go. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, a fantastic movie.
All right, so there you
Anyway.
go. That's what we were up to this weekend. Now, how about without further ado, let's get into the first round of topics that we're going to go over. They revolve around sports. It is time for the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports.
In your face! Ha ha!
Yep, sports coming at you in your face. And like clockwork, literally, we get the podcast out last week, and I think like 2 hours, literally like an hour or two later, major earth-shattering news hit the NFL. That was
Yep.
Bill Belichick officially leaving the New England Patriots organization after 24 years, almost a quarter of a century,
Wow.
with the same team, unheard of in this current era of football. And then they instantly kicked in their succession plan as they go with Jared Mayo, their linebackers coach, as the new replacement. Jared Mayo had spent his entire career with New England,
Yep.
both playing and being a coach. So
Yep.
this is literally,
They really like him. It was almost
cut and
instant.
dry.
Yeah. 37 years old, one of the younger head coaches. Like you said, a long history with the team. But really, really big shoes to fill. I mean, almost impossibly big shoes
Yeah.
to fill, right? But I don't know. What's your feeling now at this end of an era? Do you think we'll ever see another coach quite like Bill Belichick or achieve the same type of success? Or how will he be remembered? I guess it's a two-part question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is going to go down as the best. Between him, Brady, and Kraft, that's like the best.
We'll never have another trio like that, owner,
No.
coach, player. I think it's impossible.
6 Super Bowls in 24 years.
That's
crazy.
wins. That's not even appearances, though.
Yeah.
Because they made it to, 8 or 9? 8?
They made it to 9.
9.
They
So just
lost-
one short
'cause
of
they lost 2 to the Giants and 1 to
one
us.
loss, yeah.
So 9.
Yeah, 9 Super Bowl appearances in 24 years. I mean even if you just take the Brady years, even smaller of a window. That's insane.
Yep. So yeah, definitely. I think it's probably going to go down as the greatest run in the NFL.
You don't think his last few seasons have tarnished that?
maybe
any bit?
maybe to us that have been watching it happen in real time,
Yeah.
but I think future generations are just going to look at
When you look
know,
back through the history books,
right? They're
and
going to
you
be like,
s- and you
wow,
see-
what, how did that guy do that in
Right.
that era?
6 out of 9 over 20 plus years.
Yeah, I think that tracks.
But he's not done. He's interviewing.
Oh yeah, But
So he has time to forge even more of a
possibly-
legacy.
possibly with the Falcons, which is hilarious.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he smoked them in hilarious fashion in that one Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
then goes to coach for him.
That
I don't
sounds
know.
like bad juju. I don't know why the Falcons would want to welcome him into his organization.
Do you think he risks tarnishing his career at all if he continues to coach past his prime? Like he goes somewhere else, goes to
I
the
don't
Falcons.
think so, because
No.
I mean, what was it? Towards the end, Bill Parcells kind of had some
he
weird
did. He
seasons.
did that. Yeah.
Joe Gibbs had some weird seasons, but I don't think anybody says like their coaching legacy's been
It's
tarnished.
just always a narrative that's interested me. If somebody stays past their prime, we've seen it time and again.
I think you would really have to do something egregious.
He'd have to do something. Yeah, like something really awful.
Yeah, like a bounty gate or something.
Yeah, like a winless season plus a bounty gate and
Yeah.
just.
I don't think so. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think his legacy is probably pretty much set in stone. Gerard Mayo, yet to be seen what
Yeah.
his legacy will be.
Well, his legacy's just starting apparently.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, let's get to the wild card round recap, and let's just rip the Band-Aid off. The Eagles are done.
Where are my Eagles?
Home.
They
That's where they
are
are.
done. They
They're
are home.
It is almost exactly
Ugh.
like we called it.
Yep. No heart, no soul. 32-9 final score. Done. And you know what's sad is the Eagles were actually in this game for like 2/3 of this game. They were
Yeah.
they were only a touchdown behind.
Yep.
But everything unraveled after Jalen Hurts took a safety in the end zone, which was just egregious on multiple fronts. The play calling, the strategy, the fact Jalen Hurts didn't see a rush coming, the fact he dropped back more than 6 yards to take
Yeah.
the safety.
Just
Just everything. Just
you
that was
gotta-
it. The wheels came off.
he's such a fan of rolling out and throwing the ball away. We see it all the time. But the one time where he absolutely needed to do it and he didn't have the situational awareness, because it ultimately ended up being a penalty in the end zone, intentional grounding in the end zone, which is a safety.
Yep.
I think it was actually a safety, but regardless. Yeah, just really bad situational football. Play calling again was disastrous. I've been watching so many breakdowns the past couple of days of, he rolls out of the pocket and there's just no receivers looking for the ball because they're all running streaks down the field. 3rd and 2, they're running streaks. First down, they're running streaks. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It
Nope.
never has all season long.
So I'm looking forward to the coordinators being done.
Yeah.
Let's.
The word on the street
that.
is that Brian Johnson is interviewing for head coaching positions. Good for him.
Take him away, Panthers.
Sean
Have fun with
Desai
that.
will probably get fired. I really don't want them to bring back Matt Patricia because as bad as Sean Desai was, we got way worse under Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
It got way worse.
Yeah. I don't understand some of the people he dropped back in the coverage. Yeah.
I just don't.
They got to clean house with the coordinators at the very minimum.
They really do. And a current favorite topic of mine, talking to everybody about this, Nick Sirianni. I mean, what do you do? I think he's got one more year left on his contract. We are very close to, nobody likes to hear the word, but rebuild. Have you looked at most of our contracts expiring
Yeah.
this year and next? I mean, if you're Jeffrey Lurie and your head coach loses the last 6 out of 7 games, 32-9 in the playoffs.
When you're supposed to be an offensive guru.
Right. Do you ride with Sirianni the year before, like most of your big marquee players retiring or, hitting free agency and start a rebuild with him in his last year of his contract and then what? Either re-sign him or do you switch coaches then? Why not pull the plug now?
Yeah.
I don't understand what.
I don't either. I think the pulling the plug now would probably be better for the coaching staff.
Because you look at some of the players whose contracts are expiring. I mean, there's no official announcement, but I think just Jason Kelsey
Yeah,
done.
he's retiring.
I feel like it's pretty safe to say that he's done. Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, one or both of them gone. Lane Johnson,
He says he wants to come back.
he says he wants to come back, but if those other 3 guys leave, I mean, there's very little incentive, especially after the end of that season. He had some pretty harsh comments for how they didn't perform.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he will. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. Slay and Bradbury getting old, and they're bad anyway.
Bradbury's done.
He's
toast.
toast. Devontae Smith is going to need a new deal. He'll be entering a contract year. DeAndre Swift, Boston Scott aren't signed. Sweat, Reddick, Maddox. I have a list here. Jake Elliott, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Reed Blankenship, all in their contract year, all with contracts expiring in 2025. And Hurt's contract about to really start ramping up. Do you stick with Sirianni on the eve of a massive rebuild? I feel like that would be the biggest mistake.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of it, but it seems to be that might be the course of action from what we've been hearing, because he's already had a sit down interview apparently with Howie Roseman, and Lurie
about
and
coaches, and he hasn't had an exit interview yet. Everybody has an exit interview at the end of the season. As of the recording, we haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Watch that break tomorrow.
So if I want him to be fired, I'll say Nick Sirianni will probably stay with the team in 2024. You can quote me as saying that Nick Sirianni will be with the team in 2024. Yeah. Now, Rich, 12 hours later, that's when we're going to get the news.
That's probably what will happen.
Every single week.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. Eagles are in a tailspin. It's depressing.
But
However,
we had made peace with it, though.
Yeah, I think we kind of saw the writing on the wall. Things were coming. But there was one thing that happened that made the whole weekend worth it.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself.
I want me some glory hole.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones, you got a whole bunch of glory hole.
Oh, yes, he did.
The Dallas Cowboys became the first number 2 seed to get eliminated in the wild card round. The Green Bay Packers, 7 seed, upset the Dallas Cowboys 48-32. But that hides the fact that at one point they were down 27-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
Yep. It was shocking. Yeah, at one point 27-7.
I can't believe there's not more of a panic in the Dallas Cowboys fan base.
They're keeping Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
That came through. That's the indication.
I am so surprised at that.
Because here's the thing. The Eagles, we were talking about this before the podcast. The vibe with the Eagles was not good.
Yeah, we saw the writing on the wall coming the last couple weeks.
Right. Everybody in this region was like, yeah, they're probably going to lose. But I think that the vibe with Dallas was much, much different. They had snatched the division away from the defending champions, the Eagles.
They had everything going for them.
Everything going for them. They had stacked rosters. This is our year. Dem boys. We got, great advantage here in the wild card round, being able to play at home. And just nothing. Absolutely nothing. All their points garbage time. I mean, they scored 16 in the fourth. Okay, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
But
at one point, this was what, 40?
48-16, I think, was the biggest margin.
Glorious. I don't
understand. It was
understand.
amazing.
To be honest with you, I would be more upset if I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah.
This is now 3 straight seasons that they have had 12 wins or more, and they have not reached the conference championship game.
We might not have gotten to 12 wins, but we knew we were going to lose. How does it feel being blindsided?
Yeah. I mean, I really thought that's a performance you can get fired from.
I mean, anytime you give up 48 points to a 7th seed.
Yeah.
Because I saw a stat floating around online that since they had introduced the 7 seeds, that none of them have ever won a playoff game, and then here come the Packers. They're like, surprise, guys.
Yeah, boom.
48 points.
And it was
Dallas all year long.
It was so clear.
Yeah.
I'm kicking them when they're down, but you know what? It's
Do
Cowboys.
it. Give them a swift kick.
It was so clear when they played that first half. They thought they were just going to roll over. They were going to be at home. Dak Prescott, he's having one of the best career years ever. They've got CeeDee Lamb. They thought for sure this was going to be a cakewalk. And then Green Bay just comes and just clocks them left, right, and center. And then that pick six was glorious. There's nobody to stop him. That was one of the cleanest pick sixes I've ever seen. And it was just glorious. Just kudos to the Packers. They showed up ready to play, ready to steal one from Dallas, playing with house money, nothing to lose, and they went big and won. And I don't know. I think I would be more upset as a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Absolutely.
This should be like, what is happening with our team? 12 wins, 3 straight years.
Yep.
Nothing to show for it.
Nick Foles has more playoff wins than Dak Prescott and Tony Romo combined.
Yep.
I love the fact that they're so terrible in the playoffs. No matter what they could go 17-0 next year, and they would still lose in whatever their first playoff game is.
And they're going to keep Mike McCarthy? All right, have fun with that. Good luck. Enjoy another early exit.
No, you're absolutely right that the Cowboys' loss is way more shocking and upsetting to their fans than our loss was to ours.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty... I feel like I can speak for a lot of Philadelphia fans. We probably all saw it coming. Yeah. But not Dallas. I love it when Dallas gets blindsided by reality. How about the fact...
I want me some glory hole.
Well, he's got plenty of time for glory hole now. Good luck, Jerry.
I want me some glory hole.
He doesn't have to waste time watching the playoffs anymore.
Nope.
He spent all his time at the glory hole.
Yep.
How about the fact that Jordan Love had basically a perfect game?
Yeah.
He was like one quarterback rating point off of a perfect rating.
They made Jordan Love look like the next Aaron Rodgers.
3 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks, averaging 13 yards per pass. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, usually you want to average like somewhere 6 to 8. He was averaging 13 per pass. It's crazy.
Yep. Have fun with that, Dallas. This is the team you've got coming back next year. All right. Quick looking to the AFC on the other side of the bracket. Chiefs trouncing the Dolphins in one of the coldest games in NFL history.
Yeah, I mean, we both said the Chiefs are going to win because of that weather. And, yeah, I mean, Andy Reid's mustache was freezing.
Like a walrus.
It was insane. Yeah. But, home field advantage.
Again, I just didn't have a good feeling with the Dolphins.
They had been slowing a lot. They very much followed the same trend that the Eagles did. They got off to a real hot start, and then they just continued to kind of spiral as the season went on.
So Chiefs won that. Texans obliterating the Browns 45-14. No story for Joe Flacco.
That was surprising.
Yeah.
We had both picked the Browns, I think.
Yeah.
Because of the defense. And then C.J. Stroud comes out and just drops 40-plus points on them. I was not expecting that.
No.
I was not expecting the rookie to do that. And I was expecting the Browns to just show up. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. But Texans, props to them. They showed that they belong in this
They got a bright
bracket.
future with C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson leading the offense and the defense.
And then we had the Bills playing the Steelers in a postponed game. They were able to handle them 31-17. But something that I do want to call out that I think is a very important win was the Detroit Lions beating the LA Rams in a close one, 24-23.
Yeah.
And it's their first playoff win since 1991. Congratulations, Detroit Lions. Very happy to see this troubled fan base finally getting some love.
Yeah. I mean, we know how that feels here in Philadelphia. We've had a lot of playoff wins, but not a lot of ultimate success winning Super Bowls. And so when you finally, reach one of those zeniths, it's such a great feeling.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, that city is just like a live wire right now. They're so excited. They think they broke the sound record in terms of decibels at their stadium. They have a lot of positive mojo right now. It's going to be good for them.
Yep, and courtesy of the Cowboys choking, the Lions get a bonus home playoff game.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Thank you, Dallas, for choking so bad.
Dallas literally made the playoffs better by leaving them. Very few times can you say, wow, that team made the playoffs better by losing, but they did.
Yes. Thank you, Dallas, for choking. You objectively made the playoff experience playoff viewing experience better
for everyone, for all football fans.
Thank you.
So thank you, Dallas.
Thank you. So there you go. Those are the teams that won in the wild card. So now they move on to the divisional round, and I think it is time to make our official predictions for the divisional round. It is our Fantastic Four picks. You ready, Mike?
Let's do it.
All right, there you go. Music is playing. What are the games?
All right, first up, we have the 4th seed Houston Texans traveling to Baltimore to face off against the number 1 seeded Baltimore Ravens. This is a Saturday 4:30 game. Rich, can Lamar Jackson get it done in the playoffs? He's struggled throughout his career to do so, but a lot of people are saying this year's different. Do you agree?
Yes, I do. Lamar Jackson has flown under the radar, but this has secretly been an FU season to everybody. Everybody forgot this past offseason, he was in severe contract negotiations with the Ravens and other teams because he believed that he is one of the best quarterbacks on the market, and other teams said, no, you're not. That puts a chip on his shoulder. He has been leading this team to victories. He's been playing well, and the Ravens defense has also stepped up. To me, this seems like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are on an FU mission to everybody else in the conference. I think they come out and they smack the Texans. I think this is the end of the road for C.J. Stroud's rookie season.
Yeah, I've been one of those people that have been a little bit down on the Ravens this year. I'm not a huge fan of Lamar Jackson, but I will admit that they have shown time and again the tenacity of that team, that defense specifically, and especially the last several games leading up to the end of the season. The Ravens beat tough teams, playoff teams, the Rams, the Niners, the Dolphins. Jacksonville didn't make it, but still a tough team. The Houston Texans did a great job getting into the playoffs. I think there's a lot of positivity there with that team, but I think that maybe a rookie quarterback can steal a wild card win, but, this is probably where they might start to falter. I think the Houston Texans could be a force to be reckoned with later in, down the line, next year, years to come, but Baltimore Ravens right now, I think they got an easier path to the championship round with the Houston Texans there. So I'm going with Ravens as well. Next up, we have the 7th-seeded Green Bay Packers facing off against the 1-seed San Francisco 49ers. This is a Saturday primetime game. Rich, we've heard of 6th seeds upsetting teams, but can a 7th seed do it here?
I mean, they absolutely could,
but
there's always a chance. But I just can't believe the 49ers would fall into the same trap as the Cowboys. The 49ers are well coached, and more importantly, they've just got they're so talented at their levels of depth. Like, some of their second string guys could be starters on other teams.
Yeah.
And that's because they're paying Brock Purdy next to nothing.
Yeah, I think he gets paid with like leftover concession hot dogs.
Yeah. This is what happens when you strike gold on the last pick of the draft. You have this cheat code that you just have all these quality players on your roster, and I think it's going to show here in this game. I would love to see the Packers continue this Cinderella run. I mean, that would be impressive, knocking off Cowboys and 49ers back-to-back.
That would be amazing.
But I think the 49ers they have too many things going in their favor. The bye week, better roster, better coaching, home field. It's too much to overcome. I think the 49ers take this one.
Yeah, unlike the Eagles, the 49ers have coaches that can game plan. So I think just given that and the extra week of rest, of scheming, Green Bay has a great story, but I usually side with teams that get a bye just because this is such a hard physical game, especially now that they play 17 of them in the regular season. So San Francisco has a huge advantage here. It pains me to say it, but I think this one's pretty simple. Don't overthink it. It's San Fran.
Yeah.
Punching their way to the championship. Next up, we have the 4th-seeded Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 3-seeded Detroit Lions. This is a Sunday 3 p.m. game. It's one of those weird ones. It's 3 p.m. Rich, who do you like in this one?
Oh, man. Buccaneers heading to Detroit. I'm feeling the love from Detroit. I think Detroit,
Yeah.
they're on such a high right now. That win against the LA Rams was so sweet, especially like shaking off like the Matthew Stafford vibes.
Yep.
Proving that Jared Goff, this might be his season to shine. This might be his postseason run to finally cash it in. Buccaneers, I think they got lucky with the draw. The Eagles were on the down slope.
Oh, yeah.
And the Buccaneers really did not put that game away until the fourth quarter.
I actually watched the entire game, and I'll say this about the Bucs. They are a talented team, but they make silly, stupid mistakes. There were a lot of dropped passes, a lot of miscommunications. They got very lucky with the Eagles.
They're not going to be able to get away with that with Detroit, so
Yeah.
I'm going with Detroit at home.
Yeah, no, same from me. It's Detroit all the way. I've liked them all season. I think they have a lot of great playmakers, good running backs, good receivers. Stafford's enjoying a career year, proving everybody wrong. You say Lamar Jackson's having an FU season. This is Jared. I just said Matt Stafford. Jared Goff's FU season. Everybody said he was a bust.
Yeah, that's right.
He was a bust. He comes back, has, 4,500 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 wins. There's something special about that city right now. It reminds me very much of like the Eagles playoff run when we won the Super Bowl. Just like a lot of positivity. Yeah. So I'm going Lions. And finally, we have the 3-seeded Kansas City Chiefs at blustery Buffalo facing off against the Bills. This is I have this wrong on the
It's
rundown.
Sunday. Yeah, it's Sunday.
It's a Sunday 6:30 game.
Yeah. Boy.
Rich, what do you think?
This is turning into like a new rivalry.
It is.
The Chiefs and the Bills always seem to meet up in the playoffs.
I'm gonna say, for the record, the Bills, I think, are the hottest playoff team this year.
They absolutely
Right now.
I think you're correct on that. And without the bye week, they've just been rolling right along. So here's how I'm going to play this one for all you sportsbook betting people out there.
Oh boy.
I think Bills win,
Okay.
but I would try and do what I can to get Chiefs in teasers because I think this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to come down to a field goal or maybe like one of those situations where someone scores a touchdown instead of a field goal. A game where the score is going to be like 27-23, something like that.
Right.
Where it's going to be 3 or 4 points deciding this game. So I would take the Bills to win the game, but do what you can on the point spread to bet on the Chiefs.
That's fair.
That's
fair.
my prediction.
Yeah, I think, I agree that it could be a very close game. I also, like I said, I like the Bills in this because they got hot at just the right time.
Yeah.
They made some changes. I think they were 6-6.
Yeah.
And they finished 11-6, the exact opposite of the Eagles after that game. The Chiefs had a similar trajectory, but we know that the Chiefs are very susceptible because those wide receivers are just absolutely terrible for Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be another cold one, so Buffalo won't have exactly the same.
Might have more snow.
More snow, but I don't know if that gives them exactly the home field advantage because Kansas City is very used to playing in that as well. But I think that Buffalo, they're ready to shake off the specter of Patrick Mahomes. They're ready to finally topple them and prove that they can be just as good. Because every time these two teams match up, it seems like Kansas City gets the better of them. I think they're ready. They're ready.
It's time. It's time for them to cash in. Yeah.
So, feeling positive mojo for them. I'm going Buffalo as well.
All right, and there you go. That's our Fantastic Four picks for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Did you like my gambling advice, though?
I did. It makes sense because it is going to be a tight one.
I really think so. I think that's a
I'd
pretty
be
safe
surprised
bet.
if either team ran away with it.
Right. I think that would be out of the realm of likelihood.
Yeah. I mean, both these teams have that magic playmaking ability. I think back to that one playoff game where they literally scored, what was it, like 4 or 5 times in
it was crazy.
like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see one team just steamrolling the other.
Yeah. But there you go. If you want some betting advice, I'd say do some Chiefs actions where you get the teasers or you bump up the point spread, something like that. I think that would be a smart play as well. But there you go. Enough sports talk to wrap up this first half of the show. Everything happening with the NFL. We'll leave it at that, but don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree. We're going to review the Emmys. Big news there. And then we'll hit you with the non-fortune cookie odd news as well. Don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
That clip is already coming into play.
yes,
I love it.
already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on? That was
I don't
weird.
know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the
I
hell?
don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Basically, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart
and-
once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then
Yeah.
Amazon can determine
Oh,
what
what you-
medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder.
Oh.
I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Oh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Done all of the sports news, all of the NFL playoff talk, coaching changes.
Yep.
And I'm sure there'll be more coming in the following week. So,
I'm sure in the next 5 or 6 hours.
yeah, even that too. Yeah, chances are. But we'll do our best to try and keep you updated as all of that happens and breaks in the news world. But for right now, we got to leave the sports realm and move right into the second part of our show. Folks, it is time for the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The
especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You're the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, entertainment entree has been activated, and we're gonna just dive right in to the main part. Talk about the Emmys.
Yeah, let's. There's a lot to talk about. It was the 70th.
By the way, weird that it was on a Monday night.
It was weird when I mentioned that in This Week in Entertainment last week. I was like, that can't be right.
No, but it was.
It was.
It was because of the writer's strike. They had to delay the event, and then I think the venue couldn't There was something with the venue. They couldn't do the same time.
It got all weird.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yep.
On a Monday, but it happened regardless. It was the 75th annual Primetime Emmys. A lot of history being made. A lot of great shows nominated. A lot of great shows won. So let's just start things off with probably our favorite show of the evening. I know you're eager to get to it, so I'll give you that first. Succession was the big winner of the night. It took home 6 of the major awards, and it also those were all of its awards, 6 total awards. But it won probably one of the most coveted ones, Outstanding Drama Series for its final season. Rich, go ahead. Give Succession some flowers.
Yes.
As the kids say, I think.
I cannot believe people still have not seen this show. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Put it on the record for me. I'll die with this. I really think Succession is the best drama since The Sopranos. I'm pretty confident in saying it.
You're not Breaking Bad is not in there?
No, I'm gonna put Succession higher.
Really?
I love Succession. The writing, acting, the cinematography, the genius of it. It's all A+ level. I've never had an episode of watching Succession and go like, that was kind of a downer, or like, that wasn't a down quality. That wasn't their best stuff or something, or that was a filler episode. Every one of those 39 episodes, I love to death. It's so good. Everybody's hitting home runs. I think pound for pound from start to finish, up there. It's up there in top 5 all time.
Yeah,
and I would say best since Sopranos. Absolutely.
Well, while I disagree on the Sopranos versus Breaking Bad thing, I do agree that Succession is, I think, a top 5 drama for me as well. You're absolutely right in the praise heaped on Succession over 4 seasons. I mean, it was just outstanding performance, outstanding writing, episode after episode. There really wasn't a dull moment. It took some, what at face value some might assume be some dry material, and make it exhilarating the entire time. Whereas The Sopranos is about the mob and Breaking Bad is about a teacher, cooking meth and becoming a criminal, this is just about a dysfunctional, wealthy family. It's not really, you put those 3 things next to each other, and it's the third most interesting, right? Out of those 3. At face value.
Right. It
at
sounds
face
like
value.
It wouldn't be.
But that's what makes it such a strong show, is that it takes something as, I guess, mundane, if you will, and it finds ways to make it exhilarating, interesting, keep you on the edge of your seat, make you, keep you guessing the entire way. The deviousness of the characters, in a positive way, the convolutedness of all the inner machinations of the business dealings and the backstabbings and everything, just really, really phenomenal stuff. So definitely very deserving of the Outstanding Drama Series Award. It also took home acting awards as well. Sarah Snook as Shiv Roy won Outstanding Lead Actress, and my personal favorite, Kieran Culkin, winning Outstanding Lead Actor for his portrayal as Roman Roy, who I said last week, and I'll say it again, I think was the most interesting and nuanced character on the show.
Especially the
By
fourth season.
Especially the fourth season. I mean, just everything from rage to sorrow to indifference to fear to confidence. The full, they're like, they just hand them the emotion chart and they're like, do all of these.
You're going to do all these this season. Yeah.
Yeah. And he pulled it off. Absolutely spectacular. But it doesn't end there. Of course, we also have another one of my favorites, Matthew McFadden, portraying Tom Wamsgand. Probably one of my favorite characters.
Yep.
I love how he starts off you think it was kind of just like a ho-hum, kind of like
secondary character.
Secondary sap. And then he just slowly and dutifully works his way up, climbs his way up, and does some really great things in great, quote-unquote, great. None of the characters are good people,
right.
But interesting things in the last few seasons. And, of course, outstanding directing as well for the episode Connor's Wedding, which, no spoilers for people who haven't seen it.
But Connor's Wedding is
that's
one
episode.
of the best episodes
that's the episode.
In television history. It's that simple.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think definitely top 10. And one of the most stressful episodes of TV I've watched.
Yes.
I know you disagree with me on this, but up there with The Fly from Breaking Bad. That is that is a master class of writing. I think it is.
I'm not 100% against you on that.
That's a stressful episode.
It is a very stressful episode. If you do want one word to describe The Fly, it is stressful.
Go watch The Fly of Breaking Bad, and then go watch Connor's Wedding. It's the same energy. It's the same in different ways. It's just peak stress.
That's an interesting way to describe The Fly, but
yeah.
I would say Connor's Wedding is more stressful. But nevertheless, that's funny. That's a good one.
But both fantastic shows. Succession taking the drama awards. But on the flip side, for comedy, I have to give a moment to my favorite show of this past year, The Bear, winning outstanding comedy series. And if Succession killed it in drama, The Bear killed it in comedy, killed it overall, winning 6 major awards, 10 overall. That means it is the most winningest show of the awards with 10 total wins. It also broke some history. It broke Schitt's Creek's record from 2020 for the most Emmy wins in a season for a comedy series. It also broke the record for the most wins for a comedy series in its first season, and the most wins for any series in its first season, beating The West Wing that held that accolade. But The Bear, best outstanding comedy series, best lead actor, had best, I'm just scrolling through the list here, outstanding supporting actor, outstanding
I have a question for you.
Supporting actress, yeah.
So I've seen The Bear.
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair to call it a comedy?
That is always an interesting question.
I don't know.
It toes that line a lot. I would say it's more comedic than Succession.
Obviously.
But I don't know if that makes it an outright ha-ha. You do look at the category and you go, one of these things is not like the other. You got The Bear, but then you have Abbott Elementary, Jury Duty, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Only Murders in the Building.
I feel like Jury Duty.
That's a comedy.
That's a true comedy. That's a reality show. First off, that's a reality show.
Actually, if we want to be technical, I think that should be a reality competition program.
Yeah.
Not a comedy. Also, Barry's in that category, which I guess technically is a comedy, but
that last season was very dark.
It was less funny than The Bear.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna take a shot at a show, it should be Barry.
Yeah, Barry should be under drama, especially this season 4.
If there's a category more serious than drama, like I don't know, a genre for depressing, that would be Barry season 4.
The best Emmy for depressing.
The best Emmy for depressing. But yeah, The Bear, not really a comedy.
Yeah.
But I don't think that takes away from its accolades.
No. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes the line really gets blurred between what counts as a comedy and what counts as a drama. Like there almost needs to be like a third, like random I don't know, best random show.
The real problem is that
Dramedy or something.
Well, I was going to say this is something that I've kind of talked about in the past is that shows nowadays are more and more written as dramedies. Like dramedy is becoming its own unique kind of genre because like Better Call Saul is a drama, but like also has a lot of moments of levity in it.
Yeah.
And kind of almost goofiness.
Yeah.
You know,
which I love.
Which compared to things like The Last of Us and House of the Dragon, those are dramas.
Correct.
Like there's nothing really funny about those shows. Succession also has a lot of moments of crude humor and levity and kind of almost absurdism too at times, where you're watching these characters and you're like, what are they doing? They're like outrageous, you know, not a hard and fast drama. The Bear and Barry on the flip side, not hard and fast comedies, super dramatic. Also a show like Ted Lasso gets into sports psychology and depression over broken marriages and where are people going in their lives. Like that's drama stuff. You know, There's just also happens to have comedic moments. So I don't know if it's a separate category, like 3 best outstanding dramedy series, but then how do you define dramedy? But if you look at the way a lot of series go, more and more they are dramedies. I would classify them as dramedies.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not for us to decide. Because really, it comes down to the showrunners. They're the ones that pitch their shows to the award shows, and then they label.
You put it up for certain categories, and you decide, you know, what category.
Because my thing is, what was it? True Detective. That very first season, they filed it. They applied for the Emmy as best drama in the regular drama category.
Should have been
when it should have been a miniseries.
Yeah, because it is.
Yeah, every season is different. It's an anthology.
It's an anthology.
So it should have been best miniseries. It should have been in the drama category, and it lost. So I don't know. Some of these categories, I wish there were better ways to sift.
Yeah, I mean, but then you get too granular, because then it's like, oh, well, you know, this show isn't quite like this one. Maybe we should have the best sci-fi or the best fantasy or the best this. You know, that's where there's genre awards like the Saturn Awards and things like that. That's where they come into play. But
yeah,
anyway. I don't want to take away from The Bear because it was one of my favorite shows of the past year. You know, you look at Succession and how gripping that was. The Bear was equally as gripping on the other side. Just amazing the editing and you know how they portrayed the cooking and the writing, especially with heightening the tension in the kitchen and people moving around, and it was just very fast paced and action oriented, which is weird to say about a show about you know a kitchen, but it was like more action than just straight action series. You know, so I loved it. I loved all the actors, absolutely fantastic, very deserving. So yeah, The Bear winning 10 total awards, 6 major awards, tying Succession for major awards. Any other specific shows, actors, or actresses that you want to call out or give props to? Or anything that you felt was snubbed or overlooked?
I first off love the fact John Oliver just keeps his streak going with winning Emmys because his show is amazing.
I think it's like every season.
Yeah. I will say I think it's weird that The Daily Show with Trevor Noah won for talk series, and I don't know if he was due for one or something because it was his last season.
Probably that.
But I also don't know, is it also kind of like an FU to the current showrunners of The Daily Show? Because they're trying to do this thing where they're trying to get away with just a consistent rotating roster of guest hosts. Like they're trying to be like Saturday Night Live, where it's like, oh, well, we're not going to have a dedicated host. We're just going to be The Daily Show. That's it. And we're just going to have random guest stars on. And I don't know if that show works in that format.
Yeah,
You know?
I know exactly what you mean. I am a big fan of Trevor Noah. So it's sad that he's no longer there. But glad that he won. I guess.
Right. Do
you think that? Do I think that's an indictment of the current?
Yeah, like
way the show is done. Maybe his last season there was just so good he deserved it. We'll have to see next year whether it gets the same recognition.
Yeah, because I don't know if his stuff was A+. You know,
Trevor Noah?
I mean, he's good, but like I don't know if I would put him in like.
Who would you have given it to? Because I look at that list and I don't see. I think he was the best of the bunch. I think he deserved it.
I liked Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers has been doing some pretty.
Seth Meyers is pretty good.
He's been doing some pretty piercing commentaries on some things that have been happening. Another one that would have sent a message if they gave it to Jon Stewart, because Jon Stewart had the falling out with Apple Plus.
Yeah.
That Jon Stewart was going to go after, I think, how iPhones were made or something, and Apple was like,
I missed that.
Oh, that's why they stopped the show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was going to go after like how like it was supposed to be how technology is
Right.
made in these sweatshops in China.
Right.
And part of it is Apple. Apple, that's where they produce
I mean,
their...
you can't avoid one of the biggest manufacturers. So
Yeah, and it's not just Apple. Samsung's part of it as well, and
I mean,
all the other ones.
if it's an electronic, guess what? It's made in a sweatshop.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But the problem was Apple TV was paying for the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So they said, hey, can you not do that? And Jon Stewart was like, well, then if you're going to restrict my...
Separate conversation, but I don't think that distributors should get involved in content creation.
They shouldn't, but
Apple Apple I didn't know that Apple got involved in that case. I honestly had never watched his show on Apple TV Plus, so
yeah.
I was not aware.
Yep, that's why they stopped the show. So I don't know. I thought maybe that would have been another, like, if they wanted to send a message, they could give
Like
it to him.
like a statement award. No, I'm pretty comfortable with Trevor Noah winning the award because I like Trevor Noah. I think he deserves it. It's just it's that simple in my view.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go there.
But another one that I wanted to call out was Philadelphia's own Quinta Brunson winning for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series for Abbott Elementary. I know that in recent years, the whole shift has been away from network television. But if there's one show that I will still tune into network TV for, it is Abbott Elementary. I mean, it's The Office set in a down-on-their-luck elementary school in Philadelphia. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. It combines all the best parts of The Office, where it has the weird characters, the heartwarming relationships, and just really fun writing that also pays homage to aspects of Philadelphia, like the language that they use, Eagles iconography in places, references to parking in South Philly, and it's just a fun show. It's just a really fun, wholesome show. That is legitimately funny as well with its outlandish characters. And the setting of an elementary school, it provides endless opportunities for hilarity. So I strongly recommend that show, Abbott Elementary, if anybody hasn't checked it out. That's another one I wanted to call out. Anything else on your end, Rich?
No, I think that'll wrap it up for the Emmys. I think that pretty much. I just want to get my Succession love out there.
I know you just want to get your Succession love out there.
Yeah, this is it. Unfortunately, this is the end of the road.
It is.
So.
Well, it made quite a statement, tying the Bear with multiple major wins, and The Last of Us as well was one of the top awards getters for its creative awards that it won.
Yep.
None of the major awards, but all the editing and visual effects, which is still important.
Yep.
But
so there you go, Emmy recap there. And then one more thing to wrap up in the entertainment entree. This was a news story that broke last week, and we couldn't get around to it just in the nick of time. And that was some quick Star Wars news. An official movie has been announced featuring the Mandalorian and Grogu. It will be from Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Favreau will be directing. So this is something that I don't think is a surprise, because just the Mandalorian has been so successful. It's easily been the best piece of TV standalone spin-off content for Star Wars.
maybe a controversial opinion, but I think the best piece of Star Wars content since Disney takeover.
I could see it. Yeah, I wouldn't fault you for that.
I mean, I still think The Last Jedi was fantastic.
Yep.
I know that we're probably the only two people in the history of the Star Wars fandom to think so.
Yeah.
But I think like The Last Jedi and The Mandalorian. Everybody loves Andor. I just could not get into it. Kenobi was good. That was really good, but I like The Mandalorian better.
Kenobi would have been better if it was just one long 3-hour movie and it was the last 3 episodes.
Yes. I had major problems with Ahsoka. We talked
obviously.
about that.
Yeah.
I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing to say about it.
No. I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. So not a surprise that they're going to do an official spin-off movie. Unfortunately, that probably means no season 4 of Mandalorian.
Yeah, production is set for later this year for the movie, so probably no season 4 this year. Probably not any next year as well.
Probably not.
There's no release date available now, but there is a generic Star Wars release scheduled for May of 2026, and another untitled Star Wars release in December of 2026. So this could hypothetically be the first theatrical Star Wars release post sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think of that? Like, how does that sit with you as a Star Wars fan, that the first movie post Skywalker saga is The Mandalorian?
It makes sense. It's their most successful content.
Is that the right direction to go in terms of the Star Wars universe, the lore, your personal fandom opinions? Like, you move away from Skywalker. Is this what you envision?
Well, I don't think this is going to be like one of the main episodes. I think it'll be just like one of those, a Star Wars story or something, legacies. It's not going to be like episode 10 or something.
Okay.
It can't be.
No.
It's supposed to be in between
right.
The original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. So
yeah.
It can't, unless they're going to name it episode 6.5 or something.
Does this start a Star Wars cinematic universe? Is this the...
Oh, I'm sure they want to do something like that. But the problem is just everyone is soured after that sequel trilogy. I don't know.
So from a strategy perspective, it makes sense to kick off a SWCU with The Mandalorian. It's their most popular and successful series. So it already has ties to Boba Fett and Ahsoka.
At some point, they're going to have a team-up movie.
The Avengers of Star Wars.
Yeah, it's going to be the event. Yeah, it'll
Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Grogu, Boba Fett
will take down Tarkin. Or not Tarkin. I mean,
no,
sorry.
What's his name?
I can't think of his name. Blue guy.
Thrawn.
I don't know why.
So wait, you're telling me I have to wait until like 4 movies come out to see why Thrawn is such a big deal?
Maybe. I don't. I'm sure they're going to try and use the Thanos model on Thrawn.
Why does Disney love like cool toned villains? Every villain is blue or purple. No, I'm serious.
Yeah. It's just
Thanos,
it's unnatural.
The guy from Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
What's his name? The new one who just got arrested.
It's
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Kang. Thrawn.
Yeah,
I'm on to something.
They're
here.
all unnatural.
Disney likes blue villains.
It's very unnatural.
Blue and purple villains.
Ooh.
It's spooky.
Yeah, spooky. Ooh.
I have a disdain for Thrawn. Ahsoka really soured me on the whole. I know that's a shame because in the expanded universe, he's apparently like awesome.
Yeah.
But
I don't know
when
how
you have a
Disney's...
crap show to introduce him.
Yep. I don't know how Disney's going to play him.
Anyway,
right.
Back to Mandalorian though.
Yeah. Well, real quick, you have another bit here on Star Wars because we got to start wrapping this up because we're actually pushing the time here.
Oh, you wanted to talk about the second part? Yeah. So the former Game of Thrones producers and writers have come forward saying that their scrapped Star Wars project was going to be The First Jedi. So this
would have been super prequel.
Right. This would have been super prequel. This is the stuff that I want to see Star Wars do. It's just interesting that they gave this interview and started talking about the direction that they would have gone. Talking about how they would have focused on how and why the Jedi Order started and, the first lightsaber come to be. But they were taken off the project, or they decided to split from it because Lucasfilm and Disney differed with them on the direction of the project, since apparently it was taking the series in a different direction, existing apart from the Skywalker arc. But this is interesting because ultimately Lucasfilm is now making Dawn of the Jedi, a movie that has been announced with a different director whose name I can't remember right now. So it's not that they didn't want to do the Dawn of the Jedi. There was something in the Game of Thrones producers' manifesto that they didn't agree with.
No, it's probably they wanted it to be like thousands of years separating this story. Have a clean, fresh, blank slate.
How do you take this news? Do you take it at all? Is this, you know, is this exciting that we're getting a Dawn of the Jedi movie and that we got the Game of Thrones writers off of the project? Or is this concerning that Disney might try to somehow link it up with their existing lore? Like, oh, the first Jedi was secretly a Skywalker, too.
Yeah.
Like-
Please don't do that.
Like, how do you take it? I mean,
I would believe
everything is just wild speculation, but give me the wildest of the speculation.
Well, I would believe something like, oh, it's Yoda as like a 20-year-old or something. I don't know.
Shoot me.
Well, because that
It's
makes
Grogu
sense.
Yoda?
Well, no, not Grogu, because Grogu.
No, I mean like
down.
no baby Yoda, like
But-
Grogu-esque.
But Yoda makes sense because Yoda, his lifespan is like 800 years or something. So that makes sense if they want to have the time gap, something like that. That would be.
That's
you
so
could-
depressing.
You could tie that.
So
in.
what I'm saying is we're basically going to see Yoda as a Grogu type baby.
I mean, I don't know. I'm saying that could be an option.
That could be an option. That is one way to tie it without making it
Because
like
the idea is they want to have some sort of flow with this that it ties into
Right.
the Skywalker saga.
I'm terrified that they're going to be like, oh, the ancient clan of the Walkers of the Sky.
Yeah, don't do that.
Jesus, just kill me now.
Yeah, don't do
if
that.
they do that, I am hoping that they give it a little bit more of a leash than that. And I hope that they didn't pull off the Game of Thrones producers and writers because they were afraid they were going to be too different. Because they got bit in the ass the last time they went different with The Last Jedi.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a possibility.
You know, I don't know if that's overreaction on my part, but I saw that the way Rise of Skywalker went and the ham-fisted pandering and nostalgia, and I'm like, I don't want that in my Dawn of the Jedi. You
I
know,
don't either.
for years I've been asking for the birth of the Jedi and the Sith, and they're going to give me the clan of the Walkers of Sky.
And what's that? There's a family over there. They're solo.
They're solo, yeah. Oh my God. Oh, and there's people, they really like oregano.
Organa.
Can I write for Star Wars?
Oh, there's a bear chewing food. It must be the Bacchus of the Chew.
He's really chewing it, chewy it.
All right, on that note.
And that's R2-D2. Just gets more and more blatant.
On that note, let's go to the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda bastards. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that? I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at Meat Tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. Oh, what does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo! Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing these stories for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Yep.
Good old Florida.
Time to go
All
back
right.
to Florida. Gotta love Florida.
Gotta love it.
All right. So we're going to talk about the case of 42-year-old Jessica Beatty in this story.
Okay.
From Clearwater. So
okay, Phillies.
Yeah, right. She's right by the Phillies training camp.
That makes me worried. Could this be like Delco transplant?
Possibly. You never know.
Oh, no.
Whenever it says Clearwater, yeah, it could be Delco.
There's always a chance.
Can't rule it out.
It could be Delco.
Yep. Can't
All right,
rule
so
it
what
out.
happened to Jess from Delco in Clearwater?
Yeah. So we have a very interesting move that 42-year-old Jessica Beatty tried to pull on the police. According to a recent police report that features her name on it, she was apparently the woman that tried to submit dog urine that she collected in an attempt to cheat a court-ordered drug screening, according to Florida police.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Squeezing the wrong lemon.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yep. I don't think that's going to work.
The best part about this is she doesn't own a dog.
Hot diggity dog. Hot diggity dog.
I'm so concerned right now.
We've got multiple questions here. First off, what were you thinking? Did you really think this was going to work?
Do you think they wouldn't be able to tell, like, this is not... Anyway. But also, I know where you're going with this. How do you obtain dog urine?
Where did you get this dog urine?
Is she just walking around the park looking for dogs and, like, has, like, a little cup and, like, runs over and you see a dog going to the bathroom and, like, puts the cup under? Bless you.
Sorry, he's in the middle of that.
The thought of it made him sick. Sick to his stomach. He's allergic to the very notion.
Like, she had to be, like, waiting with a cup.
Waiting with a cup.
Wait
but
a minute.
also, the dog owner, if you see some crazy lady, like...
I need this urine.
Like, scuttle over under your dog, I'd be like, what are you doing?
If you don't mind me, I just need this urine if you don't mind.
I'm a dog urine aficionado. I must collect it.
Hot diggity dog.
I don't like this one bit.
Yeah.
Because unless maybe she has a friend, but that might be weirder. I'm like, I'm texting you, hey, Rich, could you save me a cup of dog urine, please? You're like, no problem.
I got a source.
Exactly. What's weirder? If some stranger were to go under your dog and catch some urine, or if somebody texted you and asked you to bring them some.
Yeah, I think that might even be worse, because then I got to have the responsibility of collecting the urine.
But then your question's like, why?
Yeah, and then I got to bring it to you.
Right.
At least
that's weird.
At least with the stranger, they're there with their own cup.
Right. Right. At least they're providing their own cup. They're doing the deed themselves.
Yeah. They're taking care of business on their own.
Right. You don't want to be responsible for that.
You lazy friend. I
gotta get my own dog urine.
I gotta get a cup. I gotta get a Tupperware container.
Right. And then you gotta worry about, like, getting it back and
No, keep it.
I don't want that one back.
On the house. You're good.
You give me one of the takeout containers.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
That one's on the house.
Oh man, that's so weird. So she smuggles in some dog urine. Now these urine tests, like, it's all very like you go in, they give you the little cup there. You don't bring your own cup.
Yeah, not for the official test. No.
Yeah, right. So she had to smuggle it in.
Yes.
In like a container or a baggie or something.
Yeah, somewhere on her person.
Yeah, like a bottle.
Yeah, I'm sure she got...
Like a fake bottle of water.
She got it somewhere.
Yeah.
Because she tried to pull this off.
It did not work.
Nope. So the reason why she was being tested was because she was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and driving with a suspended license.
Yep. That'll warrant a drug test.
Yep. And she also has previous cocaine convictions as well.
Oh.
Yeah,
lovely.
So she's all over the place there.
I got my fingers crossed for a little freaky deaky.
This odd news story brought to you by Negan.
Yeah, apparently.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I mean, like, lemon squeezy.
When life hands you lemons,
grab dog urine.
Grab dog urine.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So yes, according to the police report, obviously the test was designed to detect the presence of any chemical substances or controlled substances in her system. Beatty was concerned that her urine was going to turn up with a failure on that test.
Just suggestion, don't do cocaine.
Yeah, that would be a good start. But apparently that's not an option. She did it. So instead, she showed up with a fraudulent urine sample, according to the police report. She said that when she was confronted about the phony sample, she said she collected it from a dog. So we don't know where she got it from.
So she did do the go to the park and find a dog thing.
Yes, I guess. I mean, she just said she got it from a dog.
How?
Yeah, like, excuse me, madam.
Now I'm thinking of the ways in which she could have done it. So she could have asked a friend. Maybe she found like a stray dog. Maybe she went to like a pound or a shelter and she's like, oh, I want to play with the dogs. And then
here's a cup.
Somehow like made it get so excited. I don't know.
Oh, if you get a dog that it does those excited pees, there you go.
You get some. If you
get a river.
You go to like a shelter to play with the dog or something. Or
yeah.
You know. Maybe she has a dog walking business.
Yeah,
that's devious. She starts an entire side business to get a dog, to collect the urine, to do the drug test. This is like a very roundabout way. Like, she could have just had a successful dog walking business.
She's an entrepreneur.
She is.
If that's the route she's going.
If that's the case, they should let her go.
Yeah.
She's just a young entrepreneur. Young, 42?
Yeah, 42.
Young whippersnapper.
She refused to say how she got the sample, so we don't know.
Because it's weird. It's weird. I wouldn't want to say either if I got caught with something like that.
Yep. The drug test easily can differentiate between a canine and human waste, so that was not going to work at all.
I feel like that's probably the first thing they look for before the drugs. Like, is this human?
There's a little bit of dog food in this. Where'd you get that from?
That's weird. I'm detecting hints of kibble.
Yeah, where'd that come from? She was arrested at the probation office and charged with urine testing fraudulent practices.
Wow.
That's actually a separate charge.
We've been doing this for 10 years. I've never heard that. I mean, I knew that something like that probably existed, but I've never heard that.
Yep.
In an odd news story.
Yep, the official charge is urine testing fraudulent practice.
Wow. Damn.
That is no-go.
Nope. That sucks for her. But don't do cocaine and don't steal dog pee. It's really that simple. Those two things, and your life will be just fine.
All right. And I got one last thing to mention.
Okay.
And that is the fact that she was caught with the last cocaine conviction because she was trying to sell it on the side of a cleaning service that she started with her boyfriend. So she is a little bit of an entrepreneur.
She is.
If only she had started her dog walking business.
You know, she could have been a very successful entrepreneur, but instead she had to get high on her own supply and steal her dog pee.
Yeah, there you go.
Good,
she could have done it.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Could have all been there for her.
But instead, you had to do the cocaine.
Yeah. I also just want to know, like, how do you make the switch to, like a customer comes in, they're bringing dry cleaning or something, and then just, like, be like, so.
Yeah, I need this suit by Friday. Just clean and press, and also cocaine, please.
Yeah. Or do you give like little samples, like in the suit you're pressing? Like, oh, I left you a little something special.
Oh, like a free sample?
Yeah.
Like you get like 2 articles dry cleaned, and you get a free.
I left you something special in that breast pocket.
I like to imagine that there's like a secret like sign. Like you bring like a specific kind of tie. You're like, oh. Like, oh, fluorescent green tie. That's the key word. They're like, I'd like this dry clean. Right. I need this dry clean by 9 a.m. Thursday. And she's like, I got you.
Oh, okay. I got something for you.
And then because she's an entrepreneur, because it's not really a tie that they need dry clean, she just sells the tie.
Yeah, there you go. Then you can start a tie business.
Exactly. I'm telling you,
there's a whole cycle.
There's potential here, guys. You start a cleaning business that's a front for drugs, and then you still do the cleaning. But you can also sell the items of clothing that people are using to trade for drugs.
Yeah. Then you start a tie business.
Brilliant.
We got it.
She just started 3 businesses. No, 4 if you count the dog walking.
This should be an American success story.
She's right up there with all the great business owners. Elon Musk, Donald Trump.
Yeah, there you go.
Right up there.
But instead, she's going to be persecuted. How dare they?
Yeah. It's a shame.
Yes, how dare you?
They're cutting down a young business mogul in her prime.
Yes. She had so many good ideas.
She could franchise it.
Yeah. But there you go. That's the odd
Drugs
news.
and dry cleaning.
Drugs. Yeah, there you go. That could be the name. Drugs and dry cleaning.
I like it.
DDC.
DDC. There you go. Drugs and dry.
What does that first D stand for? You'll find out. Good luck. But there you go. That is what I have for you this week in the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. And on that note, we got to start wrapping this up. Thank you guys for supporting us. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all social media. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get the episodes sent to you every week. 2 main ways to do that. First is on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page, hit that subscribe button, and you'll get the episodes sent to you when they get released. And number 2 is on Spotify. All you got to do is go to our Spotify page. The video podcast will go up on Spotify, but you can also listen to the audio version of the podcast, and you can take us on the go using Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So you can always be with the latest episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast wherever you may roam.
That's right. You never want to go anywhere without the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us instead to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. You can find us on X. Any odd news story goes to me so that Mikey doesn't say it. But let us know what you want us to talk about on future episodes. If you do, and we use it, we give you a sausage shout out right here on the episode. So make sure you do send that our way if you want us to talk about something specific. But yeah, we try to do the episodes whenever there's not snow or a blackout or anything like that. We try to get the episodes out on Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays if we have those those wonderful events from Mother Nature.
Stupid weather.
Yeah. What will it be next weekend?
I don't know. Something crazy.
Yeah. First we had storms last week. This week it was snow.
Earthquake. No. I
Oh
hope
my gosh. Mikey just jinxed us. It's going to be an earthquake. Volcano just opens up in South Philly.
Hey, why not?
If it does happen, it's all because of Mike.
It's my fault.
So there you go. That's all the news that we can fit onto this podcast. Thank you guys for helping us out. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.